Hello and welcome to Create a New World on the Dwarf Fortress game. It's not named yet, so I don't know. Alright, go. So it's going to be a smaller world, medium history, high civilizations, low sites, medium beasts, high savagery, minerals everywhere. I'm a kid at heart. Alright. Um, is this place acceptable? It's got humans. It's got elves. It's got... Yeah, it looks pretty solid. Yeah. I think that this is going to work. There's no, it's got a stupid tower down there. Towers can be a bit much sometimes. Especially the way I play. I play with Reckless Abandon. So this is not a tutorial series by any means. It may be a tutorial on how to play like me, which I don't necessarily recommend because I do play with Reckless Abandon. But we will see. I got a shot at making it, but the way I play, because I counter to, okay, we're 44.09 R1. That's what we're playing. I do a couple things that are counterintuitive. Just my nature. We're on roll 121, I believe. What's going on here? Okay, yeah, 121. One actually good piece of advice is not to build up too much fortress wealth right away. I actually ignore that rule because I'm crazy. You know what? Actually, I kind of want to see where the good area is. I like the good areas. They're not any more they're not any more easy that I find, but I kind of like having sunberries in more of a fantasy realm. Okay, enter do search. We'll see where it is. Oh, it's there. Yeah, no thanks. It looks a little chilly. Okay. It's fairly cold. Maybe. Freezing. I don't like freezing. See, the thing about... Is it ever going to thaw? That's the problem I have. I don't think so. Oh, see, it's temperate up here, though. Let's see. It has everything else I want, though. Nah. I'm gonna pass. There we go. Got all the... What's going on there? Goblins. I want somebody with that. Let me check out the volcano. The volcano's probably too cold. It's right by the tower, too. Ah. And yeah. It kind of works. I mean, there's not a lot of trees. Freezing, though. Forget it. Oh, no, there's no trees. I'm looking at scarce vegetation. Not scarce trees. Okay. It's kind of somewhat even, sort of. Well, in the mountains, anyway. Bum, 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 bum. It's a brook, not a stream. I like a good brook. Alright, yeah, that's... I think this is a winner. It's a wiener. Sand everywhere. I like to kind of micro look, if that's what you call that, what I did. So goblins, elves, humans, and of course dwarves. There's always dwarves. We are the fortification of moons. There's the Citadel of Zeal, who's not doing too well. 4s and 5s, so this probably won't be flat. I'm hoping for flat. I am not expecting flat. I think it was kind of wild. Untamed wilds, I forget, I don't know. I'll know from looking at the video. Yeah, I don't willy-nilly start picking points, and I actually embark differently. And you'll see what I mean why I really go crazy with wealth. Now, here's the other thing about that with my playstyle. I rely on getting migrants right away and building fast. That's how I try and game the system. So I'm going to look over this. I may not pick these guys. I like to look to see what their likes and dislikes are and where the numbers are at. You know, that sort of thing. So I'll be right back. I may not go with these dwarves. I'll look at them. Some of them have some good ads though, so I'll see. Hang on. And I figured it out. All right, so yeah, it was actually just woodland in both places, so medium savagery. All right, so yeah, I went with the next group. This is the second group, and we just assign the points real quick. There we go. All right, so yeah, I assigned them all, and I'm just going to go through like dwarf by dwarf and kind of explain my logic and reasoning. All right, so I'll start with the glassmaker here, Solon. Solon here, now, as you can see, the 63, this is representative not just of like the averages of all dwarves, you know, as far as how good the, you know, potential would be based on, you know, who they are, their attributes, that sort of thing. But it's also kind of reflective of the other dwarves in the, you know, in the fortress. So like this with the starting 7, and if you add dwarves, the numbers actually change. So 63 is good. So that means it's, you know, it's good glassmaker, good mechanic. Oh, actually, you know what? I should start with, but I mean, this is just kind of like the standard numbers. So there's nothing special. Like I also look over here to see if there's anything he likes in blacksmithing or, you know, masonry, carpentry. You know, they tend to be the same, like chairs or portals or anything like your doors, portals in the case of glass. That actually is a benefit too that does not reflect in these numbers. So Dwarf Therapist is a little weird when it comes to that stuff. All right, I'm going to jump to somebody else. Asmel, Mason. As you can see, chairs and thrones. So this is an inflated number, 63. You see it's the same here. But Asmel, on average, won't be as good at making masonry as Solon is as glass making. Unless Asmel makes chairs, then he'll be even better. And also, I made Asmel the broker and gave him one in Chief Medical because I like to have the ability to see what's going on with my dwarves. And so Mason at 5, you know, this is actually just the points, but you know, this is a skill of 5. 1 in diagnostician, persuader, appraiser, conversationalist, comedian. I think negotiator would be stronger than persuader. I think it might skill up quicker. I mean, it's my theory. I don't know. I just play this game all the time. I don't know how it works. Deagle, I was actually kind of torn. I was going to make the mason also the leather worker and just have him that, and have the cook here who's got better attributes for broker and chief medical for that meaning. But I went the other way because in the long game, Deagle here, she will be the cook and a leather worker. Not fantastic numbers here, but you know, whatever. I like steel, huh? You know, my plan is to eventually replace her as cook and have her become the full-time leather maker once I get stuff up. All right, so Locum is the carpenter, like shields, so I will, you know, make better shields if I concentrate on that. And pretty much I'm just, most of these dwarves where it has 2 skills, I'm putting 5s in both of them just to make them, oh, like battle axes. You're gonna be having one, Locum. Lucky you. So yeah, so that's that. I never looked at military. Sometimes I make a military dwarf, but I'm not going to. All right, so that's Locum. Then we have Anil, who is my weaponsmith. As you can see, like silver and warhammers. It's a great combination. So when I make silver warhammers, I'm good at warhammers. Also mechanic. You see that I have 3 people with mechanics. Yeah, there's a reason for that. I'm going to be trap heavy. Rigoth likes anvils. I kind of think that's cool, so I'll make nicer anvils. Yeah, it actually puts the ads in here. I don't know if it helps you for like. I'm suspicious whether it really does help you for armor smithing or weaponsmithing. It's like, yeah, you're working with an anvil, but you're not making anvils when you're making armor and weapons. All right, so not as good as mechanics, but still it's fine. You know, close to the average. Armorsmith likes gauntlets, so I'll skill up quicker if I make gauntlets because I'll make better gauntlets. A higher value means more skill, I guess, in this game. So yeah, that's kind of my starting 7. Then we go over here. I got rid of the axes and the picks. This is going to be a little bit more of a builder. Okay, I'm not gonna get most of this, so it's actually just quicker for me just to get everything out. I'm getting the anvil back, and oops, no, and one of all the drinks. So, no, well, not one, but I'm gonna get all the drinks. I'm gonna get 6. It's 5 per barrel, and so that means you get 1 barrel that just has 1 unit of alcohol in it. So it's an exploit, which I'm okay with. The dwarves can pitch in a bit because we're building a fortress for them, so I don't mind gaming the system a bit. Turkey hens. Alright. 4 turkey hens, 5 female dogs, 2 male dogs, and breeding pair of cats for varmints, dogs for security. Okay, so we got that. We need a willow log. Willow's one of the lighter woods, so I might, it doesn't matter. Any log will do, but ruddle, I like ruddle because it's purple. I like purple. And let's see, we got, and it's kind of a rare stone too. There's also that, and it's also magma safe. Bituminous coal, we're gonna get about 90. Yep, malachite. Malachite's the ore of copper. So that each one of these gets you 4 bars each. And then cassiterite is the ore of tin. But if you smelt cassiterite and malachite together, you do, one of those, you'll get 8 bronze. And bronze is a bill of military metal than copper. Copper is a value of 2, bronze has a value of 5, and it hurts more when you hit people with bronze. It's just a better metal. So, as you can see, so each of these smeltings gets 8. So that's 160 bronze. And then sphalerite is the ore of zinc. And if you mix zinc and malachite, which is the ore of copper, you get brass, which is bling bling pretty. Like I said, copper is a value of 2. Brass is a value of 7, so it makes nicer things. So I'll end up with 8 brass. Now, yeah, also you save on fuel. Like if I were to smelt either brass or bronze just into those bars first and then smelt them together to get them, you'd end up spending a lot more fuel. The breakdown is it would take 6 fuel to get them just by smelting them by bars, and 1 fuel just by ore. So it's a big difference. And the bituminous coal, I'll get 8. Well, you get 9. I think of it as 8 because you're burning 1 to burn the next one. So it's a net gain of 8. So then we're going to get sand. I'm going to get more sand, but I'm going to get my milks. I'm just getting the gems out of the way. I used to just kind of bypass and just kind of go like this, and then, But it's quicker this way. I just go through this, and then I delete those gems that I don't need, the milk quartz, this and that. And then the rest is on the sand. Now, these are also, the sand and the milk is a little bit of an exploit, but actually I don't even really do it for the exploits. At least that's not my main reason. I certainly don't mind. Each 1 point for sand, you get a free 10-point bag. So it's an 11 points for 1 point. So it's a 10-point exploit. So some people just get sand and dump it and then use the bags. But the primary reason I get the sand is because I got a glass maker. I'm going to use this sand. It's going to be right next to the, you'll see how I do it, but it's going to be right next to the, the wagon. So I'll have it ready to go. And I have all that bituminous coal, so a lot of building. The milks, you get a free barrel with each different type of milk. You wouldn't mix donkey milk and yak milk, because that would be crazy. So they put it in separate barrels, and the barrels hold more than just 1 unit, but So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is that right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13. It's unlucky. All right, so I get 13 milks. Yeah, I'm gonna make those into cheese. That's and now the main reason is not just for the barrels, although the barrels is a nice add. There's other ways to get it free. You can get like meats and the same concept. But yeah, I want to turn off permissions in the kitchen, so don't cook like yak milk and yak milk biscuits or yak milk roasts. I want yak cheese biscuits and yak cheese stews and roasts and stuff. So it allows you to, so you won't willy-nilly do it. It takes away some of the micromanaging stuff. All right, so group name. What did the dwarves come up with? The autonomous armor. I'm okay with it. Yeah, if I don't hate it, sometimes I'll just go with it. Razor Trot. I don't hate it, but I dislike it, so I'm going to Fence Truth. Bean Gem. It's terrible. Well, I compromise. Sorry, so you want the last to be gem. Let's say that. Dye gem. Gem. Crypt gem. No. Mirrorgem. Alright, there we go. Mirrorgem. Oh. Alright, this is my kind of standard 7. Distinct corridor. Shape. Mountains. Object. An anvil. And the dwarves are engraving the mountain. And the anvil is burning. No, not burning, something. Alright, so the distinct corridor is an image of 7 dwarves, mountains, and an anvil. 7 dwarves are engraving the mountains, the anvil is burning. It's kind of boring and generic, but it's our symbol, and it represents us as dwarves, so it's exciting in that sense. Embark. So this is an episode 0, as I'm sure you could see, because that's what I plan to call it.
We have arrived.
And we have arrived. We probably won't see giant cougars. Mirrorgem. I'm pretty sure you almost never. I think I might have seen it once, but I don't know if I was because it pretty much never happens. So I don't know. I guess it represents animals you won't see because I used to think it was stuff that you'd likely see, but you never see it. I don't know why it does it that way. We got flux right off the bat. So this is episode 0. So all I do is look. And I have, what is this, chalk? Or is this dolomite? That's chalk. Colonite. Colonite is, we can use to make porcelain later. Lignite, which is a fuel. Good. That's why I like to have a mountain biome. Got some gems. I embark with minerals everywhere. Is this oh, that's brimstone. That might have been orpiment, which looks like somewhere. Hematite, lignite. Hematite's the ore of iron. So we got iron off the bat. More iron. This looks like tetrahedrite right next to it. Yeah, or tetrahedrite is the ore of copper, but it has 20% silver. That means you get the full amount of copper, but you get a bonus of 4 chances at a 20% chance of getting a silver bar. So you can get up to 4 silver bars, but it's less likely. There's also, okay, yeah, bituminous coal. Lignite, you get a, like, I think of it as a net gain of, what do you call it? A net gain of 5 or 4, because you get 5, and then bituminous coal is 9, which you really get 8. Unless you have a volcano, if you have magma, and you smelt it for free. Alright, black zircon, mica, graphite, what's this? Quartzite. Cool. Quartzite looks cool if you Google that. I like it. This jet. Yeah, I like jet. Lignite. Galena. Yeah, Galena is the other one that's kind of like tetrahedrite. Galena is the ore of lead. but it's 50% silver, so you can get up to 4 extra bars of silver, and you get a better chance of doing that because it's 50%. Coalnite, oh, this is nice. More tetrahedrite. Yeah, so gold. So ore-wise, we got. I mean, it's like it looks like I hit the jackpot, but you always do when you embark with minerals everywhere. It's just the nature of things. More quartzite. All right, so we took a mosey around. Let's look at the grand view. So yeah, this is nice and flat for the most part. I mean, I got a mountain in the corner, and it's not a towering, indomitable one either. Yeah, this is good. Good embark. Good embark. All right. I also like to look at what kind of animals I have. Oh, I got 2 female horses, so I can milk them. Get some horse milk. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of food. This is what I mean by turning off permissions. I'm not going to do it yet because I'm principled of not doing anything in episode 0. I just, just kind of silly like that, I guess. Yeah, this mountain kind of goes up, so I won't really be using it. I'm just kind of thinking future where to put the food and the animals and stuff. All right, so yeah, that does it. I think that does it. I'm going to do other things. I do a couple exploits. Well, like the barrels and stuff like that. So that's all right. That's exploit 1. The second exploit is I turn off the aquifers. Sometimes I do aquifers, but I don't always. The other thing is I'm a dirty cheater, according to this. I hate vampires and werewolves, so I just don't deal with them, or I deal with them immediately. So our Dwarven society we can just say our Dwarven society, because you can always justify it. We know, we just know when there's vampires and werewolves. I think of that more as a human thing, to be honest with you. When it comes to dwarves, it's sort of like, they got enough fantasy elements. They don't have to bring human lore into it. So we deal with our vampires and dwarves. Our society, our specific society is good at rooting them out. You just don't, when you think vampires and werewolves, you don't think dwarves. I mean, at least I don't. And the other thing I do, which is an exploit, is I prospect ore. I think I killed my last one for whatever reason. Yeah, so it tells me how many trees I got. Now we could see 139. It gives you an idea of where the caverns come in. We see 106 here for tower caps because that's an underground tree. These are underground. See 110. So I look at what the highest lower number. So 110 could very well be the very bottom of the topmost level of the first level of caverns. And it also looks like we can see the bottom one. We got 0 here, minus 13. So yeah, minus 13 be the very bottom of the bottom level of the caverns, the third level. It doesn't necessarily show me the middle one. Yeah, because 91 still looks like it's the top one. Yeah, sometimes they blend in, but sometimes certain ones will, certain shrubs and trees will kind of, only be on 2 levels. So I don't know. I can't tell. Can't tell where the middle, but it's somewhere. All right. We got coal, of course. We got lignite, as we could see. We got coalnite, as we could see. Those are the 3 things I really look for there that I want to see. We got some ruddle. See, as you can see, it's not super common, so I kind of like it for that reason as well. In addition to it being purple. Ooh, we got a lot of crystal rock. I like to kind of see, because I'm eventually going to want to make some crystal glass. Adamantine, oh, that's pitiful. For embarking everywhere, anyway. Yeah, we got hematite, limonite, and magnetite. These are your iron ores. It's not a whole ton, and as far as embarking everywhere, but we got all 3. Sometimes you just get 1, but you'll get 10,000 or something like that. Garnite is the ore of nickel. Nickel is magma safe. It's also magma safe in garnite form if you use that as blocks. So there's the value there. Otherwise, it's just a value of 2. Cassiterite is the ore of tin, as I have, which will help make bronze. It's also, you can use tin to make tin glazes in pottery. So there's a value there too. Native silver and horn silver, which I have down here. They're basically just both silver. They give you 4 silver bars. It's always 4 bars, except for the case of galena tetrahedrite, where you get 4 lead and 4 copper, respectively. But plus additional silver, depending on your chances. But the only difference between horse silver and native silver is if you put permissions on to use them in the mason's workshop. You can make native silver or horn silver furniture if a dwarf has a specific like for it. You can do that with any of this. Otherwise, the permissions are all turned off. We got sphalerite, which is the ore of zinc. Again, with copper ore, it makes brass. Galena, lead, 50% silver. Gold is gold, baby. Tetrahedrite is copper, 20% silver. And we do have a flux. We got chalk right here on the surface, and we dig down. Do we have marble? No, we don't have marble. A lot of times you get marble. I don't have marble, so that's fine. I have a flux, and it's right there. I got chalk. Fire clay. It's actually, yeah, I got sand. It's important that I have sand on 37, so it's too deep. So that's cool. Probably have just a big sand layer there. And then under that, we got fire clay. Now, fire clay is good for stoneware. Is that right? Yeah, yeah, I think it's stoneware. And the thing about stoneware and porcelain is that they are not porous. So, for instance, oh wait, no, stoneware that's porous. No, fire clay makes. I forget my stuff. All right, so fire clay is a little bit more valuable, I think, than stoneware. I think stoneware is the lowest one. I think fire clay makes another kind of ware, but it's a type of pottery that is already kind of sealed. So, you don't have to glaze it to actually have it hold liquids. Otherwise, if you make stoneware pots, they won't hold liquid. You can use them for other things. What is it called? It's bothering me. Oh well, I don't know off the bat. I'm not going to look. I'll get back to you on the next video. All right, magma is at -13, so it's way down there. And water's way down there too. We've got water up here, of course. And yeah, this is where you'd find an aquifer as well. Sometimes I work with aquifers. I just, not all the time. Even when I get beneficial aquifers, which I consider where there's aquifer on part of the map, they can be a problem. If you do a lot of stairs and you get goofy with that. All right, so without further ado, thank you for watching. And if you didn't watch, you can't hear what I'm saying, so I'm not talking to you, which is irrelevant because, for obvious reasons. All right, so thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Keep on keeping on, whatever that means. And I will not see you in the next video because that's not how the internet works, but I'll be happy if you watch. Thanks. Bye-bye.